Okay, so welcome. And so in this video, we're going to talk about other measurements. And we're going to start with the idea, and we're basically referring back to the metric scale and remember of all the different prefixes. So we've talked about prefixes like the deci, centi, milli, and then we also talked about kilo, hecto, deca. Okay, so those are the most common ones, but remember, you still got to make sure you're familiar with the other ones, like what's smaller than a milli? Well, then there's nano, okay? There's also peka, right? So, and then there's giga, there's tera, you know. So there are other prefixes that either make things that talk about bigger things or smaller things. So again, make sure you look at the tables. And again, you can look in your textbook, you can go online, you can see a metric table. There's also other types of measurements, for example, joules, right? For measuring energy, okay? So there's pascals. Pascals are for measuring pressure, okay? Usually kilopascals, which means 1,000 pascals. So there are other units to measure. So make sure you review the table in your book or just go online and pull up the SI tables, and it'll bring up all of the different types of measurements, what they measure. Do they measure pressure, volume, things like that, okay? So make sure you're familiar with those for things like an exam or quiz or homework, okay? So make sure you're up to speed. I'm not going to write out the whole table here. I'm going to leave that up to you to make sure that you know them, okay? But let's do an example of, for a question that you might be asked that you want to know the answer to. So here's the example, and it says 12 nanoseconds is what part of a second? Okay, so how are you going to answer that question? Well, first you have to know what a nanosecond is, right? So a nanosecond is 1/1000th, okay, let me say it again, 1/100000th of a second. So a nanosecond, so 1 nanosecond, okay, is 1 1/100000th of a second. Or in other words, okay, so I'll just want to make sure I have enough zeros. Yep, that's correct. Okay, and so that's what it is. So now that I know what 1 nanosecond is, now what is 12? Well, if 1 nanosecond is equal to this, then 12 nanoseconds would be 12 times this, right? So 12 nanoseconds would equal to point 0.00000000012. And that's it. See you next time.